Welcome back. It's the Kovacs Report. It's Wednesday, so it's time to roll out the reviews. We're going to start with Amazing Spider-Man by Joe Kelly and John Romita Jr. So this is issue 8 of Joe Kelly's run. It's not been great in my opinion. I know some people might like it, but for me, you're always going to get my honest opinion. Spider-Man is my favourite character, and it's just not hitting the mark. Anyway, I am on the book because I love Spidey, and I'll keep reading it through thick and thin. And this leads us to today. So Hellgate, the new villain, has arrived, and there's going to be a big fight, or rather the fight from the last issue is continuing. So before I dive in and give you my thoughts, please read the book first if you don't want me to spoil it, because there will be spoilers everywhere. Like the video if you like the video, and hit subscribe too. That would be great. I'd really appreciate it. So here we have it. Give up yet? It says on the cover, and this is kind of the question that I'm asking the Spider office at Marvel right now. Anyway, we are greeted with a memorial to Peter David, absolute legend who recently passed away. If you're not familiar, I would definitely Google and pick up some information on some of his legendary runs, give them a read. You will not be disappointed. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about this issue. I mean, it is a mixed bag. There are some good points, but they do not outweigh the bad for me. So I'm going to dive in. So Hellgate has arrived, all right, for an unknown reason. He's had a big fight with Spidey, and Spidey's trying to contain that fight and move it away from the people. So the good parts of this book are that the art's really good and the action's really good and the panelling's fantastic. John Romita Jr. has done a really good job of this. And that's saying something, because I think a lot of the criticism of some of Zeb Wells' run and previous arcs is that I think John Romita Jr. just lost the love for it because the stories were so terrible, and you can feel that. You know, I think an artist needs to be excited about what he's drawing. I felt like he wasn't, but this issue, he is flashing his artistic chops here, and we get a huge fight through the entire issue. That's essentially what this is. It's one big fight. Spidey versus Hellgate. Now, if you could put aside Joe Kelly's seems to be signature wit in this book, which never lands, is never funny, and just feels slightly forced, trying to get that not infamous, I guess, infamous Spidey quipping, doesn't land. It is not fun at all. I feel like there's too many pop culture references from beginning to end in every issue, just to try and show how clever and up to date it is, and it really spoils the story for me. Anyway, as you can see, the fight is going down. Spidey is not having much luck with Hellgate. He's already punched him. It feels like I think a cast iron furnace on full blast. So this guy is exuding this kind of heat, this kind of inferno. But Spidey, he's very concerned about letting go. You know, does he punch someone when he's down, when he can? And there's these moral dilemmas that keep going through Spidey's head throughout the whole issue. And of course, we're greeted with these flashbacks. Now, this is the thing that I hate the most about this book. I really hate it, in actual fact. I'm not going to mince my words. You'll always get my honest opinion. If you like them, that's great. You can like them and someone else can not like them. Two things can be right at the same time with this, right? It's just personal opinion. But for me, they do not add much. We get these cheesy little throwbacks to this goofy looking Peter learning a lesson from Uncle Ben. And to be honest, they're tiring. You know, most of us know the backstory. Most of us can glean it if we're new to this book, that, you know, Uncle Ben gave him that mantra of with great power comes great responsibility. But we get these little moments where they're supposed to segue into what happens next. You know, so each time there's this little moral dilemma. You know, does he hit this guy when he's down? You know, does that make me a bully? You know, I don't know. They're not fun. And they break up the story, you know. I mean, I quite like the fight, you know, going through the whole book. And we get these little moments that you feel like you're laboring to read through just to get back to the actual, you know, story at hand. Anyway, also one of these moral dilemmas is when to fight and when to run. So here we go. He's there thinking, what do I do? But I've got to get the people out here. So this whole book is Spider going, you know, putting himself first and don't hurt the people, hurt me. Don't hurt the people, hurt me. And it's just repeated over and over and over. Okay, we get it. We get it. We understand Spidey. You know, he's going to put himself on the line to save other people because Uncle Ben taught him it's okay to throw a punch if you're going to do it in defense of people that are weaker than you. And it's just pounded into you page after page after page. But the positive is this, is that Spidey gets a beating. He absolutely does get hammered in this book. And you can feel that. You can feel the pain that he's suffering, both mentally and physically. But again, this villain is so one-dimensional. You know, his dialogue, again, is what you expect from one of these sort of mythological villains. It's just Come on, man. You're one of the biggest writers in the comic industry. Give us something special. Give us something that's memorable. But no, the fight continues, and he's taking the villain as far away from civilians as he can. But time is running out. Time is running out. So he gets trapped, and Captain Kintsugi turns up. Now, he appeared, I think, in a previous issue. I think, you know what? This is the problem with this run, right? Is some of these characters so unmemorable that if they even appeared in the issue before, you've forgotten them. And that's bad. You should go, oh my God, it's that character. I can't believe he's back in the book. Anyway, he turns up because he wants to help Pete. But Pete's like, no, you can't take this on. Leave it to me. Go to safety. Again, the same thing all the way through the book. Get to safety, I'll handle it. Get to safety, I'll handle it. Should I hit this guy as hard as I can or not? And it just goes on forever. But again, the fight scenes do look cool. I'll give you that. Now we jump to this little Mary Jane here. I think he's sowing the seed here. You know, she's looking out the window thinking about Peter. So maybe this is Joe Kelly going, I'm going to give the fans what they want. We're going to get Mary Jane back with Peter Parker at some point. But I don't know. That's wishful thinking. And then we get this boring story with Dylan. If you want to know about Dylan, just read the back issues. Again, it's so unmemorable that it's just not even worth talking about in the review. And again, his dialogue is this whole, you're not my dad, because they've taken him in to look after him. Again, I'm not going to go into the story in case it spoils another book for you. But again, it's just so cliche. It's so cliche. Anyway, they understand through the news that a big kickoff is going down in Midtown. And she's worried for Peter. And we go back to that said fight. And Mr. Hellgate here, he's not impressed with Spidey. He's not impressed. You know, he was told to come and see this chosen one, this foretold person who's supposed to do something we don't know about just yet. But you know, so he's been elevated to this status of like he's like an ultimate warrior, an ultimate leader, but this guy here, Hellgate, thinks he's weak because he cares about the lives of weak, innocent people. But that's Spidey. Anyway, Hellgate's there. And just as Hellgate's about to give Spidey like the final punch and really ruin him, this voice says, "Stay your hand, keeper of the Hellgate. It has been foretold he is your guide to greater heights. He is the one foretold." But at this point, I'm like, I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't care. You know, anyway, he picks him up. Spidey's not got a lot of fight left in him. And he says, get stronger. And he knocks him out. And that's it. To be continued. So this whole issue added nothing for me, really, to the story. Just a big fight. We haven't learned anything more about Hellgate. You haven't learned anything behind why he's there and why Spider-Man's the foretold. I mean, if you read some advanced solicitations, you kind of get the idea of where it's going. And boy, oh boy, it's not good. But listen, the art is fun. You know, John Romita Jr. has really made these fights kinetic. They shine. It's been coloured really well this time as well, because that's another thing I've noticed with the Spidey book. It feels very rushed normally. It really is 5 o'clock and they've got to get the pages over to Marvel. But yes, those are my thoughts. They're not positive at all, I know. But again, like I say, if you like the book, that's absolutely fine. It's just my opinion. You know, it's Coke or Pepsi time here. So, you know, to me, this is Pepsi, not Coca-Cola. It is a pale imitation. And I'm just getting disappointed each month. But I can't help but read it because I love Spidey, you know. So let me know your thoughts. I'm open to debate. I mean, don't just downvote the video because you disagree. Just tell me why you disagree. Let's have a conversation. That's what comics are all about, you know, is chatting about them, you know. So I like this, you don't like that. It makes it fun. So yes. Whew, I've got to take a deep breath. That book was hard. So to end, like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. That'd be great. But read some more comics and I'll catch you in the next one.